Shalom Israel. First, I'm going to start by giving all honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Badash. Double honors into the elders, apostles, and bishops of GMS Great Millstone who rule well, teach, and edify. And Shalom unto you, hopefully like document Akwat in this household of faith. My name is Ishaya. I don't want to going to make an edifying video going into, being content and understanding that, the state we're in, we're poor and needy, and the Lord still looks unto us, right? Just a couple points I wanted to hit, going into the fact that, the elder apostle Gabar posted a video, we're not supposed to be, Mr. Happy-Go-Lucky here in Babylon, man. And he's supposed to be Mr. Smiles a lot and has a lot of fun and just shoots the shits and kicks it, right? We're in a harsh captivity. It's a very spiritual, very economic, and very oppressive captivity, right? You can't even live as a man. You can't do much, But with all that being said, that's the condition that we're in, man. This is this is the this is the judgment that the Lord has deemed perfect for what we should go through. All right, we're here in this state that we're in, man. Pursuing those Deuteronomy 28 curses, man, that pursues our people to a T. As a man, you cannot fucking live here. So if you ever have something, consider that a blessing sent from the Lord, bro. Like, you got a wife to hold you down, the scriptures say, a good woman is sent of the Lord, roughly paraphrasing. Shit, you got a house, you got a car, you got your remnant. Or even then, you got your life. You got this truth on an even deeper level. Try to be content with the things that you have. And then not only that, give the Lord praises in everything that you got. And I'm going to touch up on that through the Spirit, Lord willing, in Sirach, the 14th chapter. Because, if you get anything, give the Lord his due alms for everything that you have. Because truly, Israel as a nation is that nation that, deserves more more punishment for what their iniquity deserves, pursuant to Job 11:6. I exacted upon thee less than what thine iniquity deserveth. Meaning the Lord doesn't punish this nation fully for all that they do. All this wickedness, all this bullshit that this nation gets into. The Lord doesn't put it all to charge. So with that being said, understand that, the Lord is amazing. The Lord is powerful. The Lord is perfect. And on top of all those things, he's merciful unto us. We're living his life as shit. We're breathing his air. A lot of motherfuckers, man, they just eat shit, breathe, and die, man. But us being brought into this faith, we've been called into this beautiful work. So it's always important to be content with your position, always, abounding in the faith and doing the work, and basically get the job done, man. Execute. We're on a mission here. We're not sent here to just have fun and bullshit and parade. We sent here to do this job, man. And that's something that is very important to not lose sight of, especially in Babylon, bro. Not to go too far off topic, but Babylon, if you go even to the history of ancient Babylon, at one stage of its time, being the biggest city in the whole world. With that being said, being one of the first cities ever to, reach a very high census, so-called, around 200,000 people. 200,000 people in this city that we would consider to be small now. At that time, you look around this shit. You look around, what does that guy got? What does this motherfucker got? And that's why Babylon's at whore, man. We live in these cities, bro. It's easy to get caught up thinking city shit. All right? It's for brothers that live in these metropolises. It's easy to get caught up thinking carnally and shit. Thinking about the city life. Thinking about women. Thinking about all the fucking dumb shit of this world, bro. It's very easy. You look around, oh shit, that's a nice ass car, bro. I gotta start working so I can get that car. Or, oh shit, man, that's a badass bitch. I need to get my life straight so I can have that type of woman. That type of spirit, man. Vanities upon vanities, man. Babylon is a vanity affair. You a man of the Lord, bro. You know, thinking like that's going to end up to be your demise, man. Babylon's the killer of many, man. Truly is. Babylon has killed many motherfuckers, bro, spiritually, on top of physically. You know, so it's always good to just stand, you know, keep your mind in the right spot. But rolling into the precepts is Habakkuk 1 and starting at the top. It's the burden which Habakkuk the prophet did see. And it reads, O Lord, Yahweh, how long shall I cry, and wilt thou not hear? Even cry unto thee of violence, and thou wilt not save. You know, Habakkuk getting sick of that oppressive shit. The scriptures say a wise man doth hate oppression. You know, living in this fucking society, man, it sucks living here. You don't want to live here. You don't want to fucking dwell with these people. Everybody, you know, look around and shit, everybody just look like a bunch of dirtbags, you know? They all living wickedly and shit. You walk around with your woman, they looking at your woman. They don't even look at you. You look at them, these niggas trying to mean mug you. And it's just like, what the fuck's going on here? You know, you live in these tight ass cities, bro. You got a house and you like 15 yards from your neighbor. You so damn close to them, you could hear the type of fucking TV they watching and shit. You could hear when they turn on the sports channel and shit. So fucking close. Or even better yet, them fucking the apartment living. Got the neighbors upstairs doing backflips and shit, like it's a jungle gym. Neighbors downstairs bumping some fucking Chief Keef and shit. This is that nation that we live in, bro. And the prophets are very sick of it. The scriptures say, Daniel the 7th chapter, you know, that wear out the saints of the Most High. You know, the saints, the elect, are worn the fuck out. You know, but at the end of the day, what can you do? You just gonna have to keep going. Regardless of whether you're tired, regardless of whether you're mad, sad, happy, or anything that you feel, you gotta keep doing this work. Constantly. The scriptures say, Galatians 6 and 9 says, be not weary in well-doing. We have to keep on doing this, man. We have to have stamina even when we feel like we don't have it. And where do you find that? It's a spiritual. You have to resort to spiritual things to continue in this faith, man. You have to pray to the Lord, ask the Lord for guidance, ask the Lord for strength, because you as a man won't be able to, you know, get past this shit. The scriptures say the elect shall scarcely be saved. How much then the wicked? Right? So even with that being said, the Lord's going to just give the elect, you know, that scarcely be saved, man. It's in that last second. Our faith is going to get tested to the very brim, the very peak of it. It's like, oh, damn, you know? But hey, man, verse 3 says, why dost thou show me iniquity and cause me to behold grievance? For spoiling and violence are before me, and there are that up strife and contention. So that's what's fucking here, man. Strife and contention, violence, this grievous ass wicked nation. Therefore the law is slack and the judgment doth never go forth, for the wicked doth compass about the righteous. Therefore wrong judgment proceedeth. And that's the way Habakkuk is seeing, man. You live in America, this city of Babylon, this fucking country of Babylon, really, man. And you got a lot of wicked motherfuckers winning, man. You got a lot of wicked people, you know, living life up. But that's their lot, man. The Lord's giving them that grace right now, because what they're about to enter into is terrible. All right? Terrible. And even the 2/3, you know, the scriptures say, you know, in Daniel 12 and 3, it's like some wake up to everlasting life and some to everlasting content. You know, the elect, you know, are going to have that everlasting life. And better yet, the elect of the elect, the 144,000, are going to be ruling class, joint heirs under Yahweh Shai in the kingdom forever. And that's a reward so great that you can't fathom it as a man. All the shit you see in the movies, all the shit you see in animes and whatever the fuck you want to think of to kind of correlate to spiritual power and just complete freedom to exercise, you know, it can't compare to what the Lord has in store for the righteous. As it says in Peter's, I believe. You can't even fathom it, how great it's going to be, man. So that should even give you more motivation, discipline to do that which is right. And the Lord not only gives you motivation and discipline through, you know, telling you the good things are going to happen, he'll tell you the bad things too. And he'll give you fear on the other hand to make sure that you get done what you got to get done, right? We're moved by fear to do this as well, man. It's not just happy-go-lucky. We know that what happens if we don't do this. if we don't do this, you get fucked up in the worst way imaginable. And bros don't want to go through that, you know? Verse 5 says, behold ye among the heathen, and regard and wonder marvelously. I will work a work in your days which you did not believe, though it be told. Actually, that's probably about the point that I wanted to get. But in verse 2, it says, in chapter 2, it says, I will stand upon my watch and set me up the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision, make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. So regardless of how you feel, we have to still stand upon our watch. And the Lord, instructs his prophets to make sure that you spreading out this truth, man. So like you making this vision plain upon tables, because what does the book of Ezekiel says? If you don't warn the wicked of their wicked ways, their blood is on your hands. But if you tell them and they don't hearken, then that's their fucking problem. And the Lord's gonna smite them for that very thing. All right, so it's really easy to kind of get in that woe is me spirit. All right, but are you gonna do woe is me now, or are you gonna do woe is me in Jacob's trouble? Because hey, both of it's gonna be bad. Like the scriptures say in the Apocrypha, woe is me, what shall I do in that day? That time of Jacob's trouble is gonna be no joke, man. So if you woe is meing right now, and we haven't even gotten into the heavy persecution, hey man, you gotta really think about some things, man. Turn to spirituality, man. Pray, fast, get in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, because in this faith is strength. And this faith is a great sword that slices shit. And this sword, and this faith is that armor of the Most High that we put on, that we defend ourselves with on a daily basis against these demons, against Satan, against Esau, against all this bullshit that's coming about us, man. The spiritual vexation that you receive in this faith is not even close to what people receive in the world. You be like vexed by some worldly things, but you have a spiritual vexation. Spiritual vexation. And it's a heavy thing to deal with that. But at the end of the day, we're going to have to deal with it regardless. You either going to deal with it or die, basically. So let me get this next one. Should be like, be therefore content. Or is it this one in Hebrews? I'll get this one in Hebrews. So Hebrews 13 and 5. Let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as ye have. For he has said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. All right? So you have to be content with everything that you got. All right? The scriptures say, let patience have her perfect work. And the scriptures also say, he that endured to the end, the same shall be saved. When we have these things that the Lord tells us, we got to really listen, man. We got to really dial into the wisdom in it. Because life may not be glamorous, man. You may not be driving yachts all over the place and shit, traveling, go fucking black card, Amex card and shit. You may not have all the women, all the money, all the jewelry. You may not be 6'10" with fucking 10 billion in the bank account. But what good does any of that shit do for you when ultimately the Lord's gonna come and destroy all of it? Because it's wicked game, really, man. This money, these riches, these women are all wicked. It's all bullshit. Alright, don't lose your crown trying to fucking, feeling bad that you're not winning in the world, bro. And I was talking to a bro. He's like, sometimes he kind of gets in that spirit of like, we're really kind of feels like at times like we're like nobodies, man. And that's just that. Some like in the world view, we're nobodies. In the world view, we're just these crazy guys that wear these tablecloths and preach this doctrine that they don't like. And they talk shit, they scoff, they mock, they say all these heinous things against Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and his men. But guess what? In the Lord's eyes, Lord willing, we're the elect. And I say Lord willing, but the elect are the elect in the Lord's eyes. I'm just saying, in my case, Lord willing, I'm the elect. Lord willing, you're the elect. So in the Lord's eyes, us being the hopefully elect, we're just hoping that the Lord sees goodness in us, that we're those chosen people, right? So no matter how the world sees us, we see them as just destitute. Making it in the world means nothing. You're gonna fuck a bitch that everybody else fucked. You're gonna get money that everybody else touched. You're gonna get a house that a couple other people lived in. And ultimately, living in Babylon means no good health. The healthcare system's fucked up. So after you live it up in your 20s and a part of your 30s, settle down in your 40s, your health problems are gonna start kicking your ass by 50, 60, and then you probably dropping dead by 70. That's really life for you, man. I was telling that brother, like, hey, the rich people, the people that think that they made it in life, they got all the money, all the McLarens, all the fucking nice things in life. They're just that. They're just rich people. They got money. The singers are just singers. The songwriters are just songwriters. The actors are just actors. The fucking athletes are just athletes. At the end of the day, they all amount to nothing. When they die, you go about 2 generations, and niggas don't even know who the fuck you are. There's some kids that don't even know who Michael Jackson is, man. Think about that shit. There's some kids that don't have a single fucking clue who Michael Jackson is. There's some kids, and I'm saying kids because that next generation forgets the old generations. You think if they didn't write about Martin Luther King Jr. in the textbooks, that they would know who the fuck he is? Fuck no. And even then, they don't even write about him really. He's that false-ass prophet. Nelson Mandela. Even the Jake that created the stoplights, Gary A. Morgan. He created the blow dryer, like the hair dryer, stoplights, gas masks. It's a very intellectual Jake, but nobody knows who the fuck he is. You know what I'm saying? And there's many more. Name a gladiator. Name the best gladiator of their time. And a part of any part of history. The best of them. The best of the best. Name the best, samurai. Name the best shinobi. Name the best fucking anything. So at the end of the day, bro, you can't do that. You don't fucking... They stop mattering. But in the Lord's eyes, we remember even the most little of people. Rahab the prostitute that hid the prophets. In the scriptures, the Lord will make people everlasting. The Lord will make people to be remembered forever, because it's ultimately the Lord's movie. The Lord chooses who's great. The Lord chooses who's to be remembered. The Lord chooses who's important. It also says in Job, it's a in transit, so I'm not able to pull all of these, but the scriptures say in the GNT of Job that the Lord knows which people are worthless, and stupid people will become wise when donkeys are born tame. And chiefly, I wanted to get, the Lord knows which people are worthless. Does the scriptures not say, let the multitude perish which are born in vain? There's a lot of people that are born for literally no fucking reason. They're born to eat a missile. They're born to commit iniquity. They're born to just bullshit. There's a lot of souls that are like that, bro. But the Lord chooses those who are special. That special grape, and he builds us up. And how are we being built up? Going through these fucking things that we go through, bro. Going through this hell, going through these trials, going through these tribulations, these persecutions. We're being humbled. The scriptures do say in the New Testament, if thou art humble, thou shalt be exalted, and those that are exalted shall be humbled in that day. Roughly paraphrasing. So ultimately, the greater thou art, the more humble thou shalt be. The Lord is humbling his elect, because ultimately the elect are going to receive this great gift that's just amazing. The scriptures say, you be as gods, but you shall die as men. That's what we're going to have to go through. You know what I'm saying? Dying as men. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you're going to end up a god. An absolute power under Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And a kingdom wherein dwelleth righteousness forever. So always keep your eye on the prize, bro. Let me get another precept. Keep on saying the scriptures say, Salakia. 1 Corinthians 9:25. And it says, every man that striveth for masteries is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. We're gonna obtain an incorruptible crown, Lord willing, through the work that we're doing here, through that predestined inheritance that the Lord has given His elect, through us doing what we got to do, bro. The scriptures say in Peter's, give diligence to make thy calling and election sure. Right now is our opportunity to give diligence. The scriptures say also in the Apocrypha, prove thy soul in His life. This is an opportunity to show the Lord your faith, show the Lord your love, show the Lord, your works, man. And don't let go of this opportunity, because shit, when you die, you go back to the spirit realm. And that's it. Closed case. That's a closed case right there. You know what I'm saying? So you want to really do as much as you can every day in this faith, bro. And you're going to have your ups and downs. We've all miscarried in this truth, man. We've all gone through seasons of like just not feeling good, man. Just going through that hell, bro. But at the end of the day, the elect are going to make it out on the other side, bro. So have that tenacity. And real quick, I'm going to get that word tenacity, because it's a beautiful word which we must possess. It's like a trait we must possess in this truth, man. Because the scriptures do say we be unmovable, all right? We got to be unmovable in this faith, man. Live this truth, man. Live your truth. This is you, all right? This is your identity. This is your whole everything. This is all that you are. All right? A child of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. This is our whole identity. This is our whole purpose. So in your life that you live, bro, make that known to the Lord. Like, do what you got to do as a man. All right? For real. Tenacity. A quality of holding firmly. Firmness of hold or purpose. We have this purpose. The rest of the world don't have a fucking purpose. They don't. These motherfuckers just use up Babylon. That's all that they do. The rest of the world just eats fried chicken, fucks up McDonald's, goes back home, plays a video game, motherfucking wakes up, go to work 6 days a week, party on the weekends. Just living like the simple. Like the scripture say in Proverbs, the 1st chapter, how long ye simple ones live in simplicity. That's what the fuck these people are. Just the simple-minded, bro. The fucking dumb, the dumbed down. And you being in this truth, you have purpose. You not part of them simple-ass motherfuckers, bro. These niggas just live after the flesh. You live after the spirit. You live after Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Remember who you are, bro. Getting some more definitions. An act of holding fast. Holding fast. And is that not what we're doing? We always got to hold fast in this faith, bro. Because if you don't, you're going to die. That's just the end of the story. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, you're going to fucking die. You don't do your chores, you're going to get that ass whooped. You don't do your work, all right? You're going to get that ass whooped. It's the same thing in this faith, bro. We have to hold on tight, firmly. Having that tenacity, unmovable. All right? Don't get infected by this world, bro. This bullshit ass fucking place, this land of confusion. Don't be confused, bro, about who you are. Babylon is that land of confusion. Don't get confused about who you are. Don't forget who the fuck you are, man. That's real shit. Don't forget that you're in his faith. Don't forget who your power is, bro. All right? Because the Lord's testing motherfuckers, man. The Lord's testing people. The Lord's sifting Israel, as it says, pursuant to Amos, the 9th chapter, or the 8th chapter. This is that time that the Lord's doing that. All right? Don't get shaken up and forget who the fuck you are, bro. Because the Lord's going to shake you up regardless. But if you forget who you are, that's it. That's it. You just lost. You a lost soul, bro. Dead from the neck up. But hey, man, I just got to my destination. I'm about to wrap this up. Adonai Tazada was an edifying lesson. I want to lastly give all honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Makakwadash, Shalom.